Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's Tuesday topic. Today's topic is Beyond and/or Tips and Tricks for Precision Searching. Thank you all for joining us here this afternoon. I know we've got a number of folks that are coming in, and while people's microphones are acclimating, I'm just going to plug a couple of upcoming Tuesday topics just to let you know what they are. And in fact, I'm going to pop into the chat the direct link to the Tuesday topic. So if any of these sound interesting to you, please go ahead and visit the site and register so that you can get the Zoom link. Up next week, we have Resisting Through Our Bodies on Tuesday, April 6th from 4 to 5. Week after that, we have Got Funding. Students and postdocs share their experience with funding. And then the week after that, CNHP reads The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas. All right, and got another good bunch of folks coming in. And once that settles, I think we are mostly settled. Fantastic. So today's presentation is being led by Jen Lege-Matsuura, who is our health sciences librarian. Jen, take it away.
Great. Thank you, Darren. I'm happy to be here today. For those of you I haven't met yet, I'll quickly introduce myself. My name is Jen Lege-Matsuura, and I'm one of the health science librarians and curricular support here at Drexel University Libraries. And I also act as the liaison librarian for undergraduate students and programs at CNHP. I have a master's in library and information science from Simmons University in Boston, as well as the Academy of Health Information Professionals credential from the Medical Library Association. Prior to joining Drexel, I spent my career running searches to support evidence assessments, most recently for a local nonprofit focusing on genetic tests. And my first role at Drexel was a joint role with the Dornsife School of Public Health's Center for Public Health Readiness and Communication and the Philadelphia Department of Public Health Bioterrorism and Public Health Preparedness Program. I joined the libraries this past July. You may be asking yourself, why should I care about precision searching within databases? Effective searching can either be precise or sensitive. A precise search allows you to focus your search to find relevant literature for your research question or questions. This can capture fewer irrelevant results and speed up filtering and screening, but it also increases the risk of missing relevant literature. In contrast, a sensitive search captures most relevant literature, but increases the capture of irrelevant literature and leads to an increase in time spent filtering and screening. Many systematic or scoping reviews encourage or require that your search strategy be reported for publication. I thought this might be especially timely now, as many other forms of research are on hold or in flux due to the ongoing pandemic. But these types of research can still be completed during this time. While it's important to have a well thought out and documented search strategy, keep in mind that searching is an iterative process and that each run of a search may lead to changes in the strategy. And that is okay. It means the process is working. Today, we'll explore different ways to expand or focus your search. We'll go over phrase searching and proximity searching, using truncation and other wildcards, how to use fields, limiting to journal subsets, exploring subject headings and controlled vocabulary, creating an alert, and combining searches using history. Many of these strategies work best within the advanced search section of your favorite database. This can look different in different places. In the ProQuest Nursing and Allied Health database, you can navigate to advanced search by clicking on the advanced search bar directly above the main search bar. I've already selected it here, and you can immediately see different search options that we'll discuss, such as the thesaurus here to the right of the advanced search heading, and then field options to the right of the search bars. In the Web of Science, the advanced search option is above the default search bar, again, already selected here. And hopefully when you navigate to CINAHL from the Drexel University Library's Health Sciences Resources Library Guide, you are automatically pointed to the advanced search page. But just so you know how to confirm where you are, the link is under the default search bars. Although their advanced search options are not very advanced, even Google Scholar has an advanced search option hidden in the left options menu. We'll mostly be working within PubMed and CINAHL today, but the strategies apply to most databases where there are advanced search options. Here is information about where to get help within each of the databases I'll discuss, plus how to easily get to the main Drexel University Library's Health Science Resources Library Guide at tinyurl.com/askduhl, which is short for Ask Drexel University Health Science Librarians. And we're gonna navigate there now. I always suggest accessing databases through this library guide, as it will ask for authentication from here when you click on the database. Oh, and I do want to point out real quick, you can use that tiny URL, or you can get there from this main libraries.drexel.edu website by clicking here under the search bar, Health Sciences Resources. So if you are a student, your tuition helps pay for many of these databases. And if you are faculty or staff, they are included as a benefit of you working at Drexel. If you are using a governmental database such as PubMed, they are funded by your tax dollars, and the direct access or interlibrary loan options to the full text of articles through the library's website is again made available through your affiliation with the university. So please make good use of these tools. Also on this library guide are a collection of tutorials down here by the Drexel Health Sciences librarians, which go into further detail on some of the databases I'll be working within today. Check these out as well when you get a chance. The PubMed Advanced Search Builder can be found on the homepage by clicking on the Advanced link under the default search bar. Right away, you can see the Add option to the right of the query box, which allows you to easily add and or not to the search. But since we are here to go beyond that today, we'll try some phrase searching. Many databases are moving away from this and want you to search without quotation marks, and in fact, do things behind the scenes with your search to attempt to simplify it. But sometimes there is no substitute for searching for the exact phrase you want and nothing else. We're going to try this search out in PubMed. So I'm back on my library guide page, and I'm going to click the PubMed. And as I said, the advanced is here under the main search bar. I want to give away everything. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy and paste the phrase medical racism without quote marks. And a quick note about that. I'll be pasting in my words from a separate file. My preference is Notepad. Notepad doesn't save any background formatting. So when I formulate keywords within that tool, they can be easily pasted into different databases directly from there. I'm going to go ahead and search that. And that brings back 1,558 results. Next, I'm going to try searching it with the quote marks as a phrase. And that brings back 9 results. So I can compare the results by clicking on Advanced, and that brings me the history and search details box. And I'll be doing this frequently throughout the presentation. You can see that the phrase search retrieves far fewer results. If you are searching for medical racism against other variables, such as pregnancy, it may make sense to use the broader unquoted term. But if you only want to review results for the exact phrase medical racism, use the quotation marks. Proximity searching is a powerful tool that is available in select databases such as CINAHL. It is not available in PubMed. Proximity searching allows you to either search for words near each other, regardless of order, or within a specified distance from each other in order. I'm going to go back to my library guide and open CINAHL from here. And you can see that that link takes you directly to the advanced search. And the first example, we'll try medical in for near 3 racism, which will look for medical and racism near each other, separated by up to 3 words in any order. I'm going to go ahead and limit this to title just so we can see the results quickly. So this will bring back results like racism in medical, racism in a Swedish medical school, racism in medical, and here's one of the medical racism. So you can see that the results come in any order and they're separated again by up to 3 words. For the second example, we'll try medical W for within 5 racism, which expands the search to look for medical within 5 words of racism in that order, with medical first followed by racism. So again, we're going to limit to title. So these results include medical students to champion anti-racism. And you can see that all of these have medical first and then followed by the racism. Each database has different rules for truncation and wildcards, so know your database. In PubMed, at least 4 characters must be provided, and the shortened term, using an asterisk at the end, must be the last word in a phrase. For comparison, in CINAHL and ProQuest, the asterisk can be used within words to find multiple characters or between words to match any single word. We'll take a look at this in action now. I'm going to go back to CINAHL. We're going to look for health disparate with the asterisk at the end to capture multiple endings of the word. And again, I'll limit to title for easy review of results. So this will bring back health disparity or health disparities. And it looks like most of these results are the disparities. It'd be probably unusual to have health disparity singular, but if it existed, it would pull it back. But as I mentioned, CINAHL also allows for health asterisk disparities, which will bring back healthcare disparities, healthcare being 1 word, or healthcare being 2 words. Let's take a look at that. Oh, and I think I forgot to limit to title, but here's health disparities. If we can find a health, there's healthcare, but not disparities. Let me see. And there's the healthcare disparities. So it will search for them in both or any of the different configurations that can make up health asterisk disparities. The CINAHL also allows for the use of other wildcards as well. The pound or hashtag will find alternate spellings such as hematology, the American spelling, or hematology, the British spelling with HAEMA. So let's try that now. You can see there's the American, and there's the British spelling. So that will look for it wherever it may be in that instant, in either instance of the word. Another option is the question mark. And with it used within a phrase, it substitutes for an unknown character, such as if I can't remember if tomography is spelled with an A after the M or an O. Note that question marks at the end of phrases will be ignored. In that case, it would probably be best to use that asterisk that we looked at earlier. So since tomography is spelled with an O, they'll probably all be, let's see. Here we go. Yeah, so they're all going to be tomography, but if I wasn't sure and I couldn't remember, I could put the question mark in and it will pull it back whichever way was the correct way. In CINAHL, wild cards can also be combined, but there are restrictions. More information on this feature can be found in the help menu. The help menu is here above Drexel University, indicating that we're in the authenticated database version. And I also want to take this opportunity to point out the chat with the librarian slide out here, which will direct you to one of the librarians at the reference desk when that is available. I believe if it's after hours, it will allow you to submit a general email that we can respond to. Let's say I want to explore quality improvement in health disparities, and I really want to focus on articles that place a high emphasis on health disparities. So while I'm okay with quality improvement being anywhere in the record, I'd like for health disparities to show up only in the title or abstract, indicating that this topic is important in the context of the article. We're going to go back to PubMed. First, I'm going to search for quality improv and health disparities anywhere so we can review those results. There's 1,1295. And then I want to go back to my advanced, and I'm okay with quality improvement anywhere. So we're going to leave that as all fields. I'm going to add that to the query box. And we want health disparities to be only in the title or abstract. So I'm going to scroll down to title or abstract, paste that in. I want them ANDed together, and then I'll search. So there's 220. So if I go back to advanced, I can easily compare the results. You'll notice here that the first result set and the new result set, the first result set has many more results than the second, which is to be expected considering the parameters that we put on it. There are other options in the field box, so feel free to explore that as you search. Some databases allow you to limit to journal subsets, such as journals categorized as nursing or dental journals. We're going to look at this within PubMed again. So I'm going to go ahead and open up this broader search. And if I scroll down to additional filters and go to journal, I can select nursing journals from here. Now, if I click show, it only shows it as an option. It does not automatically apply that limiter. So I have to then click it. And I can now see that 59 of those 1,200 or so results are from journals categorized as nursing journals. There are many other options available under additional filters, such as limiting to the subject complementary medicine or systematic reviews, as well as age brackets and article types. So make sure to explore these as well as you search. Next, we'll explore subject headings, also known as control vocabulary, which are often found using a database-specific thesaurus. Subject headings are assigned to articles based on the content of the article and may be different than keywords that are found within the article. Using subject headings can mean that more relevant results are found beyond the use of keywords. When searching in databases, look for terms such as subject heading, subject, or main subject. It is important to note that subject headings are determined by internal algorithms and humans creating the indexing, making them inherently subjective and biased. They also can change over time as culture changes. Additionally, newly published articles may not have been processed yet to provide subject headings. We'll explore subject headings within the medical subject headings or MESH thesaurus. I've included here an example of a MESH subject tree for congenital abnormalities. We're going to look at this within PubMed again. From the main pubmed.gov search page, the MESH database link can be found under Explore. I'll open that, and what I'm going to search for is I'm going to type in disparities and see what I get. So there are a number of results that come back, but I think the first result, healthcare disparities, is the one that I want. To make sure, though, I want to review the scope notes or definition and confirm that it matches what I have in mind. It's listed as differences in access to or availability of medical facilities and services. And that is what I was thinking, so I'll go ahead and click on it to see more. So I can see the scope note again and the year that the term was introduced to the thesaurus as a subject heading. Below that is a list of available subheadings. Subheadings have their own scope notes, which you can find by clicking on this subheadings link here. You can see that this list is quite a bit longer than what was available for the term healthcare disparities. Subheadings are only applied when they are relevant to the topic. So the options available for healthcare disparities are different than what might be available for a disease. Sometimes I find a subheading that I want to apply, but in this case, I'm not going to select any, which means it will search them all. I do want to click this restrict to MESH major topic. This will restrict my results to those articles that have healthcare disparities tagged as a major concept, meaning it was determined to be an important concept to the article. Continuing to scroll, I can see other entry terms, which may give me ideas to try in the basic phrase search. I can also see where the term falls under or within the controlled vocabulary tree or hierarchy. In this case, the term falls under two different branches of the tree, but both point to the broader term of delivery of healthcare. If I wasn't finding anything relevant in my search results with healthcare disparities, I could consider using the broader delivery of healthcare term, the one above it, to see what that would pull in. But for now, I'm going to stick with healthcare disparities and click Add to Search Builder. I also want to search for subject headings on quality improvement. So we'll go back up to the search bar and type that in. There's only one, it only maps to one record. So this is what I get for quality improvement. To confirm is the attainment or process of attaining a new level of performance or quality. So that sounds right, what I was looking for. I do want to point out that in the hierarchy, there are more specific terms underneath quality improvement in the bottom branch, meaningful use and value-based health insurance. This may give me ideas about other ways to narrow my search. I will again check the major topic. I will make sure and is selected and click Add to Search Builder. Now I'll click Search PubMed. So there are fewer results than when I searched using keywords, but they are more likely to be relevant to what I am interested in. If any of you are following along and are interested, I'd like to invite you to just take a minute to search for health administration in MESH. And I'm wondering if you can find under the chat, what two headings does health administration fall under? I'll go ahead and show you how to get back to the MESH. So from pubmed.gov, the MESH database under Explore. Type in health administration, but I'll go ahead and give you a little bit of time to try this out. If you are doing this and you want to type in the answers in the chat, that would be great. So we'll go ahead and run this. Health administration actually brings back several search terms. Oh, helps if you spell it right. This is why you copy and paste. There we go. So I think the closest to what I had in mind was number 6, this Health Services Administration. And if I click on that, I can see that it falls under both health occupations and healthcare category. So something to keep in mind is if you selected one of these other results, I'm curious if you were surprised by where it fell in the hierarchy. Sometimes I come across a term that really surprises me about where they placed it. So it's always interesting to check that out. Another powerful tool if you are searching in the health sciences is Mesh on Demand. I'm going to paste, put that there, and then go ahead and paste it into the chat. From here, you can copy text from a relevant article, paste it into this tool, and it will return relevant mesh terms and similar articles. We're going to try this on an article I found previously in results for a broad nursing research search that I ran. So first I'll find the article, putting the title in quote marks. From Mesh, you can get back to PubMed by scrolling to the bottom, and under popular, there's the PubMed. And I can confirm that I'm still authenticated by looking in the address bar for the drexel.edu. If that's up there, then I'm still connected with the library. So this is the article. I'm going to copy the abstract and paste it into the tool and click search. And then I wait. So you can do, it says you can do full manuscripts. I've only ever done abstracts just because of how long it takes to run the algorithm. You can see that there's highlighted words, and as I hover over them, they match the mesh terms to the right. So the process pulled the mesh terms out from the article that were highly relevant. Underneath, there are 10 similar related citations. So those might be similar articles that I would want to consider looking into. I can also start a PubMed search directly from here. So if you find an article that is very relevant to your research question, this can be an extremely useful way of finding other ways to target or expand based on that singular article. Creating an alert allows me to easily track a topic over time by letting me know about any new results added to the database that match my search criteria, which pushes results to me on a predetermined basis. You usually need an account for this feature, so make sure you have an account set up in your favorite database or databases before trying this. We're going to look at this in PubMed. So in PubMed, you can click in the log in the top bar. And then, oh, here we go. New here, sign up if you don't have an account yet. I do want to point out this login update warning. So the National Library of Medicine is ending the NCBI account login option. So if you already have an NCBI account, please explore these other options, especially this login.gov option. Note, however, that while you can create the account with login.gov to use the option that we recommend, it is not yet working with Drexel's authentication. So I advise creating the login.gov account so you have it, but then continuing to use NCBI login for as long as we're able to. I know this is clunky, but it's what we have to work with at the moment. And I thank you for your patience while the National Library of Medicine and Drexel work things out on the back end. I'm going to go ahead and sign in. And I can confirm I'm signed in by looking for my username. And I'm still attached to Drexel up there. So I'm going to go back to my search history. All right, and let's say that I want to track this search. So I can either click create alert directly from here, or if I'm within the results, I can select create alert under the search bar. I can rename the search if I want. I can review the search, and I can even test the search terms from here. Yes, I would like to receive email alerts. I usually change the frequency to weekly, but you do have a daily option or monthly. I usually choose Monday, but any day of the week will work. The report format that I prefer is the abstract, but there's many other options for you to explore. I do want to point out that you can choose how many items to get. If you only select one, if there are 19 results, for instance, you would get an email with that one result, and it would include a link out to review the full set of 19 results. So you're not necessarily limited to seeing everything if you select a lower number, but I prefer to review everything within the email rather than going back and forth. So I'm going to select the 200, and then I will click save. So now I could expect to receive a weekly email with any new items added to the database that fit my search criteria, if there are any. So you are now ready to combine searches using history. This allows you to create individual searches for separate ideas, such as the parts of a PICO search, and then combine them to get either a fuller or narrower set of results to review. This feature is especially helpful when exploring many different aspects of a research question, figuring out during the process which ones work and which ones don't. Being able to combine those that work in the end is incredibly helpful. And we'll look at this in PubMed. But what I think I'd like to do is combine the quality improvement with health disparities in the title or abstract with the mesh search. And I want to OR them together to get a single list of results to review. So these are the 304 result sets that combines the two. And I was going to point out also, when you're on here, if you're combining the results, anything in the query box, you can also add directly to history. So if you're not sure that you really want to review the results at this time, you just want to run the search, you can click add to history, and that will just pop it into the history and search details box for you to review later. I did want to pause here for any questions, but if there aren't any questions, stick around because I have some bonus search tips to go over that include searching EndNote, PDF comments, and gray literature. So all this searching means you must store the results. Well, let me go ahead and go to the bonus section. All this searching means you must store the results somewhere. EndNote is one of the most popular options, and to go along with the searching theme, I wanted to show you how to embed a comment within a PDF attachment in EndNote, and then search for all PDFs with that comment later. This is a very helpful tip to use during the screening process. You can find more information on using EndNote from the Health Sciences Resources Library Guide in the related subject guides box on the left under Citation Management Tools. For now, I'm going to go ahead and open EndNote. So for this example, I have a file open where I've already found the full text for the articles. I'm going to open up this first PDF. And what I want to do is I'm going to just select a phrase to add a comment. Select the comment box, and then I have to double click here. And I can put in whatever I want, but I'm going to put in Apple. And then I'm going to save it. And that's important. You have to save it or it won't be able to search it later. But it's all too easy as you're going through this to forget that step. On the second one, or the third one, the next one, I'll just add a comment. I'm going to do Apple. And again, save. Okay, so I've reviewed my articles and I want to search for those with Apple. So what I can do is I can click the show search panel. I get these options and I select the drop down, and counterintuitively, I scroll up and there are these 4 hidden options above the drop down box. I'm going to search this PDF notes. I'm going to leave this as contains, although there are other options here. I'll just search Apple. I want to make sure to search the whole library. And then I hit enter. So this brings back both articles where I put in a comment of Apple. If I wanted to search for all of them that had apple or orange, that brings back all 3. Or if I only wanted the one that had both, there's the one that had both of them. So again, this is really helpful when you're going through the screening process and you're making notes on the articles as you're reviewing them, and you can run the searches later to focus just on the ones that have certain comments on them. I go back to the library guide. My examples today were limited to databases available through Drexel University libraries. I would point out, however, that the concepts applied here allow you to think through your search strategy in a broader way. And these skills are applicable whenever you are looking for information, including gray literature. Gray literature is defined in the MESH scope notes as works that include publications such as reports, theses, conference papers, translations, and limited circulation government documents, which are not normally available through commercial publication sources. In practical terms, it usually encompasses materials that aren't necessarily indexed in a database, or those materials where publication of the information isn't the primary goal. The term was only just added to MESH in 2019, and I'd like to add to this definition that it can also include oral information. My computer's doing something, bear with me. So I'm going to do a quick demo of the Health Disparities and Quality Improvement search in DuckDuckGo.com, my preferred search engine. DuckDuckGo is based locally in Paoli, and they have a strong emphasis on privacy. They do not take into account previous search history as Google does, so the search can more easily be replicated as is by different people. I'm going to copy in quality improvement and health disparities. And in reviewing the results, I see some from .gov websites and .org. There's a .com and .edu. So they're all over the board. Let's say that I really want to limit to those from organizations or .org websites. I can do that by adding site:.org to the end. I'm just going to copy. So you'll see that this limits the results to those websites with .org in. I could also, of course, do .gov or .edu or even .com. If I really don't care where the results come from, as long as they aren't .com, I can add .com, but put a minus in front of it. This will filter out .com sites, but leave the rest. There's the .gov, .org, and there's the .edu. Similar to the search we ran in PubMed, I can also limit results to those with the phrase health disparities in the title. To do this, I can add in : title before health disparities. and it will limit results to those for that phrase is in the title of the document. So I do want to show you, I want to confirm that this one has health disparities and quality improvement. And I do want to point out that this takes you out of the Drexel authenticated PubMed. So even though we're in PubMed, I have to check and make sure, and it seems similar to using the Mesh on Demand tool. If I'm using something such as DuckDuckGo or Google, and I go directly to a PubMed article, I have to then copy the title or other citation information into the authenticated version in order to make sure that you can get the full text of the article, either directly or through interlibrary loan. So today we've gone over phrase searching and proximity searching, using truncation and other wildcards, how to use fields, limiting to journal subsets, exploring subject headings and control vocabulary, creating an alert, combining searches using history, searching EndNote PDF comments, and some basic Ray literature searching. I hope you found this information helpful, and please visit the Health Sciences Resources page for more information on these topics. I'm happy to answer any questions now, but just in case you have questions later, please feel free to email me at jml623@drexel.edu. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Well, if there are no further questions, thank you all for joining us here today for today's Tuesday topic. Thank you, Jen. Thank you, Stacy, for popping in. And thanks, everybody, for your time. It's been a really good, informative session. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.